All right.
Nope. Hit that thing.
Oh yeah. Ah. 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 Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, we here. We're starting the third episode of Spirit Fed Podcast, and we are excited to see on the topic and the theme that we're going to touch on today. So we want to come through those lenses and be a blessing to you. What's up, Cha?
What's
Cha is
up?
back, y'all. She's gonna be back.
Yep.
She told me, nah, I'm not gonna do that third one. No, she didn't
I
know, but
said,
she's right there.
I think you should get Ashley. I feel like Ashley would be a great addition,
asset
to this
the
specific
spirit.
topic.
Yeah.
And here
Yeah.
I am.
And here she's here. So and we want to be a blessing to everybody. So so we're gonna touch on what we're gonna touch on today, Cha.
Today we are talking about
Let me see.
diligence.
What?
We're talking about diligence.
There you go. Okay, diligence. So it's something important. And we were kind of going over it before we started, but I want to really narrow down on diligence today. It's amazing how the Bible, the book for basic instructions before leaving Earth, Bible, right?
Yeah.
You remember that?
I think so.
Basic information, basic instructions before leaving Earth.
Whoa.
Does that make
That's
sense?
what you learned in school, like in Bible school?
No, it was just something like, they created a little bit of acronym, and I said, man, I'll never forget that. Basic instruction before leaving Earth.
Yeah, it's a little lame, but that's cool.
Hey,
That's fine.
So but it makes me remember certain things. So, so I mean, the book of instructions that we refer to and we live by and we try to push through all its commandments. It talks about diligence a whole lot.
Yeah.
A whole lot. And let's read Proverbs chapter 10
Okay.
real quick. Or let's read 21:5. Let's read that one.
All right. So Proverbs 21:5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to plenty, but those of everyone who is hasty surely to poverty."
Poverty, right. Let's read Proverbs 12:24. One more.
12:24 says, "The hand of the diligent will rule, but the lazy man will be put to forced labor."
Ooh. So, I mean, let's talk about what is diligent, right? So let's define it, and then we'll spread our wings and start flying right into it.
Okay.
So diligent, it's you remember the
it's
definition?
a careful and persistent work of effort.
Careful
And persistent work of effort.
Okay.
So there's a care, which you were talking about earlier, but I'm sure you'll get into it later. But there's a care involved.
Like that. Wow.
Yeah, and so the two major things is that it's careful, full of care, and it's persistent.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I think that, and we were talking earlier about that.
Yeah.
If you don't have that care part, that love part, you can do a lot of damage while you're trying to do something effective in your life.
Yeah.
You can damage others. You can, because you some people don't care if they climb over you. They just want to reach the top and they don't care. But when you have diligence on something, you have persistence and consistency in your life, but you also have love for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And for others, love for others. So how do you see that? Because if you don't have love, if you have persistent and consistent, you think that you can harm people by not having that?
Yeah. I think that what separates diligence from just a cycle or a pattern or just building what do we call, like a robotic like a robotic
Yeah.
repetition of
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Is what you were saying is the care, which I hadn't thought about that before you mentioned it, but the care and the love, and I was thinking like the passion that you have for something,
Yeah.
is what's gonna cause you to be more diligent rather than you just doing it just to do it every single day. So like in our jobs, I could care less about one of my jobs. I won't say which one, but I could care less about it. And I'm going, and there's the repetition that's happening simply out of just commitment. But
Yeah.
there's no diligence in it, which
Right.
it used to be diligent. When I first got the job, I was diligent and I was happy about it and I cared about it. But now I've gotten to a place of lacking care. So now it's no longer diligent and rather just me just every day there,
Just an
cycle,
automatic kind of thing.
depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how thousands and thousands of people have jobs, and they have no care for it.
Yeah.
Just hey, it pays the bills.
Yeah.
That's a common saying, right? It pays
Yeah.
the bills. Um, we just have to do it because we have to do it. But the fact is that the Bible, as Christians and as sons and daughters of God, God calls us to have some kind of stewardship,
Yeah.
to steward what He's given us, whatever He's put in our hands.
Yeah.
Steward it right, like direct the whatever He's given us the right way. And so I think that it's part of the plan of God for us to do something.
Yeah.
This is important. There's a verse in the Bible that says that everything you do it unto as if you do it unto
To
the
God.
Lord,
Yeah.
unto the God, right? And so that's an important thing, because if you do it right and you do it as unto the Lord, you're going to try to always make the best out of it. You're not cutting
Yeah.
corner, uh, you're not cutting corners, you're not
Yeah.
doing things like I'm going to get away with this, and if I can, so, and I think we all have done that before. Like we've all done, but then you realize, okay, well, wait a minute. Is that a posture that I should have? And what is God calling me to do? Have persistent, consistent, and diligence of what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
I think that's something very important. Whatever you have committed yourself to do this year, whatever you put your mind to, should have diligence included into it.
Yeah, and just like you said earlier, like sometimes we have jobs, positions, commitments, basically, that we may not enjoy.
Yeah.
But as Christians, like you just said, like everything we do, we should be doing it unto God. And so even though we may not enjoy it, it may not be the most fun thing to do, or it may be a situation where we didn't see ourselves doing this, but here we are. Even in that, we have to be mindful to not let it become just a robotic, consistent, here we go another day at this job, here we go another day at the gym, here we go another day doing this, here we go another day at this church. It should be, I'm gonna be diligent, Lord, because I trust that you have me here for a reason. And until my work here is done, I'm gonna be faithful. I'm gonna be the light.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the will of the Lord, and I'm gonna have joy while doing it, and I'm gonna care about it. And so we just have to be very careful to not be so pessimistic
Yeah.
about where God has us.
Yeah.
And
wow, that's good.
When we start to be more optimistic and say, I don't really want to be here, I don't see myself being here, but God has me here. So let me figure out why He has me here and what He has me here for.
Right.
And then in that, you can find yourself being more diligent, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's super important. If you find, if you realize the grounds, wherever we at, we are the light, the salt and light of the world, the Bible says, right?
Yeah.
And so we got to show. A lot of times, I don't know, I'm a locksmith by trade, and when I do work, when I do electronics and stuff, all kind of stuff that I do. I tried doing, and I've always been this way. I've tried doing the best, and I try to do it where even if sometimes it's not even my job,
Yeah.
but because it's me doing it, I want to represent myself the right way.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. You know what I mean?
That's a word. Talk about it.
Come on. So even if it's not for, because sometimes it's not for me, but it's for one of my friends or one of my co-workers, whatever it is, that it could be for somebody else.
Yeah.
And so I have to say, okay, it's not for me, but anything that I do, I always have in my mind, it will honor God if I do it with diligence, if I do it, if I do my best. If it didn't come through, it didn't, for whatever reason, it didn't happen or it didn't come out the way I thought, it's fine. But I tried hard, I tried diligent enough to be able to come out, for it to come out the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I think that because of that attitude that you have, it has led you into successes. Like you are doing very well for yourself.
Sure.
Like in my opinion.
Sure.
I mean, you ain't Solomon, but you almost there. We're coming. So I think that has, and not only doing well for yourself and like materialistic, but I think, like you said, like just the like the relationships that you that you have,
man. Yes,
the connections that you have, the people that you told me that you worked for. I'm like, dang, this man really. Yeah, this little boy from Jackson really out here doing things. And so I think that it also goes into and I love this verse, and I'm glad I read this verse today because I think this is going to be my verse of the year.
Come on.
But Galatians 6:9 says, "And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart." Because you had to start somewhere. You started with the whoever you worked under. You started with just the keys and the little stuff. And then now, because you didn't grow weary, like you're reaping, just even work business wise, the benefits of what you were doing before.
For sure. Something that dad told me, Dad used to say, I started working when I was 17. I started working at a shop. I was just starting to learn a locksmith. At that time, I only did whatever they told me to do. And so my dad told me, be diligent in everything you do. Because if you do, it'll ascend you to other levels. So diligence bring you into other levels in your life. It brings you, people can see, okay, there's an effectiveness on this kid, and he'd probably be awesome doing this other thing. Let's put him there. Let's put him here. And that's exactly what happened. And so, when I was pastoring, the 10 years I was pastoring, I was asking God, Lord, give me diligence in this and what I'm doing now. So everything that I do, I try to have some kind of diligence behind it, love for it, care for it, and I think that God will honor that in due season, and then we'll reap the harvest of that diligence. So, but back to the verse that you said, I was telling you that my childhood pastor wife, that was her favorite verse. And she used to say that verse in Spanish. It was a Spanish church. She used to say it like every Friday. We used to have to give a verse, and she'd be having the same darn gone
every
verse
Friday.
And
at the time, y'all like, oh my gosh, this lady with the same.
But then
verse.
as I grew, I'm like, man, that's a really powerful verse. Don't grow weary. Don't grow weary doing the right thing. Doing what you do. But isn't that amazing how we can grow weary We
Yes.
can't grow
I'm
tired.
tired, PB.
Uh,
I'm tired. I'm
you
weary.
you tired
Yes.
of waiting for a boyfriend or something?
Whoa, God dang.
That was a word right there, girl. That was a word right there. Come on, go on.
No, I'm happily single. Perfectly fine.
You
I
good?
don't need no man. I got Jesus.
You got Jesus. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, don't even worry about what I just said. Don't worry about that.
yeah,
I mean,
we
definitely.
agree.
So what is that when you read that verse? What does it do to you? Or what touches what part of?
You know, from face value, it touches the like the simple things. This is what I call the simple things in life. A safe place, music,
Yeah.
social media, like
Yes.
all the career things that I want to
Yeah.
do. Don't grow weary in doing good, because in due time you'll reap, blah blah blah. But the hard things, like my family, oh my gosh, my family.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Like
yes.
praying for friends,
Yes.
praying for breakthrough in people's
Yeah.
lives, asking God, like I've been asking God for the gift of dream interpretation, like the things of that, of like, okay, yes, we have all the materialistic career things, whatever, Buddha bada bang, but I think it's easier to grow weary in those other things that's like deeper heart issues.
Come on,
of
that's
like,
a word right
dang,
there.
like I've been praying for my family's salvation for so long, and God, I am tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired of battling. I'm tired of being the I'm tired of being the light. I'm tired of being the one that's like putting in all the work.
Right.
And it just seems like there's no type of growth. It seems like there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
And so I think that those places are where I find myself growing the most weary.
Wow.
So that's where it gets tough.
Yeah, because the verse says, don't grow weary.
Yeah.
On doing the good things, doing the right things, but when you have to do it to people that don't really appreciate you, don't really, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. But I think that it not only bring benefit to them because you're praying for them, or because you're doing something, because you're serving them, because you're working for them, whatever it may be, in the capacity it may be. But what does it do by you not letting yourself get weary? What do you think may happen in our lives?
Isn't it the verse in Romans that we just talked about on Feed the Fire?
What that is?
I forgot which verse it was, but it was saying like being patient, because your patience builds character, and your character builds hope. I'm tired, but boy, that thing's still working.
She's good. She's good, guys. She's good.
That's it, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's Romans.
Yeah, Romans.
So it Romans says that that the trials and tribulations in our lives birth certain things.
Yeah.
And the ending result of that is consistency, is persistent, it's endurance.
Yeah.
It's really endurance though, because endurance is the capacity to withstand a load, a large load, a heavy load, right? And so that's what God wants us to. He doesn't need fragile people that break for anything and under any pressure, but he needs people with endurance to be able to withstand and push through until we can see the blessings come through. So I think Galatians 6:9, it's an
powerful.
amazing verse.
Powerful as
in
heck.
an amazing verse, yeah. So I think
Wait, I do have one question.
Go ahead. Yeah, sure.
This is a generation where, as a Christian, as a young woman, as a young Christian, I think it'll be very easy to grow weary. Whether you're, there's a lot of young women that are looking for relationships, and they're like, I'm putting in the work, God. I'm working on myself. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. and there's still not even a blink of
A
an eye, not
glance.
even a glance
Oh my
my
goodness.
way.
Yeah.
And I'm being diligent, but it's been I've been waiting 10, 15 years. I've been waiting 8 years, however long, and there's nothing. Or there could be women or people or young people that's like, God, I have been doing this, and this to help my career, and my career is not starting off. My business is not starting off. And so, what is some practical advice for young people or old people? Whoever.
Sure,
We don't
whoever.
want to discriminate here.
Mm-hmm.
But people who have been diligent and they've been patient, and is just getting harder and harder to like kind of keep them. What would you tell them to like keep them going,
Well, I think that
or to encourage them?
yeah, to encourage them. Well, first of all, do not grow weary.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
The verse that we just read. Do
Yeah.
not grow weary. Because in due season you'll see, if you don't faint. The span does the English version say that?
Yeah, it says, and let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart.
Yeah, the verse is faint.
Yeah.
Lose heart. It's the same concept. So if you don't faint, if you don't give up,
Yeah.
you'll see sometimes we're at I thought this through many times in my life, where
Yeah.
I'm thinking, man, what if I would have pushed just a little bit more?
Yeah.
Maybe I would have seen the breakthrough, but I didn't have patience.
Dang.
And so one of the things that, don't grow weary. Don't let everything go. If you've been working really hard and you've been at it, and you've been, seeking and praying and looking for and preparing yourself and going out to work out, getting the body that you want to get, and you're like, okay, but nobody shows up. It don't throw all that away.
Yeah.
Because you're not seeing yet results.
Yeah.
Because every result, every effort that we make will be in due season, in the right time.
Yeah.
Will be blessed by God. You'll reap certain things from that. So don't grow weary. It's the first one. Don't throw things away that you've been working so hard, because it's really, if it hasn't blessed others yet, it's blessed your life. So I think that perspective has to change a little bit.
Okay.
And then when perspective change, you no longer throw anything away.
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, it's helping me.
Yeah.
It's in some way, in some capacity or other, it's helping me.
Yeah.
And so, so I'll say, don't throw things away. Don't grow weary. Because in due season we'll reap what we are sowing into our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else? Let me think for a second. Anything else come to your mind?
No. I think that I feel like Galatians 6:9 really kind of just.
Oh man, it really
makes it plain and
out.
simple, and it simply be patient.
Yeah.
That's the simple as it gets, to be patient and trust in God's timing.
Yeah.
And if you trust, I think I was telling Ashley this, but if you can trust that God knows what he's doing, then you shouldn't have to worry.
Right.
So I think the biggest thing is learning to be patient and trust that God knows what he's doing. If you trust that the God you say is a God that will provide, is a God that can heal, is a God that can save, is a God that can open doors, then that means that you should be able to lean on his timing, on his understanding, on his way, and know that he can. And in the name of Jesus, he will.
He will.
And so, I think that was good. Very simple.
Well, hey, I hope this is a blessing to everyone that sees it.
Yeah.
Also, hit the like button, hit subscribe to the
on.
channel.
Share with your friends.
Share it with your friends.
Yep.
And let's be blessing. Let us bless you, and you bless others by sharing it. So God bless you guys. Thank you for listening. And
Put your thing.
Till the next one.
Press
Here you go. No. No. That one.
There we go.
That's the one.
This man.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Peace out.
Peace.